Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today at our music director's office hour session. My name is Keiko McTingley, and I'm a senior music director here at APM. I've been helping folks like you, creatives like you, find music for their projects for almost 10 years now. So I'm super well versed in our website, and I'm really excited to dive in and help you figure out where to find and how to find the perfect music for your project. So that brings us to our purpose for today, which is exactly that. We're going to dive into the website, show you tips and tricks on how to find music, highlight some of the tools that you might not know about, and answer any of the questions that you might have. If we run out of time today in answering all of your questions, we'll make sure someone's in touch with you to get you squared away on any questions you might have, but I'll try to run through them quickly today so we can touch on everybody's questions. One last housekeeping note, our tech team is always working on improvements on our website, and today they are actually working on a couple maintenance things here and there. So we might run into a couple bumps in the road, but I know you have all blocked this time out on your calendar already, so we wanted to keep things planned and move forward. So thanks for bearing with us on that. All right, without further ado, I just wanted to also point out that track that was playing beforehand is one of my favorites from a library called The Real Fifth, and it's from composer Stro Elliott, who's the producer for The Roots. He put together an album for sampling old KPM albums, if you're familiar with the KPM archives. Super cool. So I just wanted to point that out. If you're curious in exploring that album, I definitely recommend you do that. Okay, to get us started, before jumping into any of your questions, I wanted to highlight one feature for you. And we're focusing today's highlighted feature on time-saving tools that are really more about admin than creatives, because the rest of our talk is going to be about creative and music. So one thing that I wanted to show you on the website is two new features that we integrated into our new website that allow you to quickly grab cue sheet info and lyrics if you need to. So let's just dive right into the website and I'll show you how that works. So when you first come up on apmmusic.com, you're going to be taken to the homepage. And to start your search, you can just dive in right here. If you like to load up your playlist in your left panel before you start your search, you can click this magnifying glass and it'll bring up your left panel here. And I'm just going to demonstrate this. I'll just quickly grab any tag and then I can show you when you click the info button, there is this in the upper right-hand corner, this copy publishing info. You click on that and it's going to copy the publishing info, which is really all of this stuff, plus the composer and publisher information, anything that you might need for your cue sheet and reporting in one click, and then you can paste it wherever you need to paste it. The other copy function I'd like to point out is for songs that have lyrics. This is the little lyrics document icon that you can click on that to see what the lyrics are of that track. And you'll see right here also in the upper right-hand corner, a copy lyrics button here, which is great for, I know some of you said, I just realized I forgot to end this poll, but some of you said that you're working on film and scripted TV. And I know with scripted TV and broadcasts in general, lyrics are kind of important. Make sure you don't have anything explicit. So copy lyrics function right there for you. I'm going to share the results of this poll just so you can kind of see where we're at today. We have a lot of advertising and brand marketing folks, but also a lot of film and TV and sports and trailers. And so we're going to touch on all of these things to make sure that you get the most out of this meeting. And then one other poll that I like to ask before I dive in is whether you like searching in light mode or dark mode. If you didn't know, our new website has the ability to switch between the two. I'm in dark mode right now, but whatever the crowd wants, I will switch over to. So I'll give it 2 more seconds, and it looks like more of you prefer dark mode, so I'm gonna stay in here. If you did want to switch it to light mode, that's what this upper right-hand corner, the little switch it over, switch it back, that's what that'll do. All right. Thanks for participating in that. And let's dive into our first question. I'm going to clear my search. First question. Okay. How do you search for unique international music with vocals? Okay, so there's a few ways to search for international music. Definitely helps if you know what region or country you're kind of honing in on. And then there's two options. So in the bottom left-hand corner of the left panel, you'll see region and you'll see language. So region is going to be music inspired by or from those areas. And then language is going to be songs with lyrics in specific languages. So let's run through an example. If you are looking for, let's say, French pop, I might go to French here. You can also type in, just to get there quicker, sometimes that's faster, type in French, add that to my search. So right now I'm looking at all tracks with French lyrics, French vocals. And let's say it's important that I want them to be female vocals. I might add female here. And then let's go with pop. Okay, let's see what these sound like. That one's fun. Has a retro vibe. That one's cool too. It has more of a contemporary vibe, and you can narrow your search down from here. So let's say I really was looking for something more retro. You could put retro in here and continue to refine your results that way. I definitely find our retro, archival, vintage catalogs to be some of the most unique areas of our catalog that a lot of libraries really don't have to offer. So when you're looking for unique, which was the basis of this question, along with the international, this is an awesome place to start. I'll play this one as well. Cool, yeah. And you can refine it again further, right? This one is more 80s. This one maybe feels a little bit more 60s. You can drop in those decades based on your needs and filter that way. Thank you for that question. It highlights a part of the catalog that I really love, so I appreciate it. Okay, next question. Some music has familiar generic quality, and I'm looking for tracks that feel more unique and authentic. Do you have any tips on how to find or filter for those? So this is they're kind of related, right? These questions, definitely looking for something unique, but I'll explore other parts of the catalog in case you're not just looking for international music. Okay, so unique and authentic. One place, this might feel a little bit counterintuitive for you if you're working on a project that needs instrumental versions, but I actually, when I'm looking for something unique, I kind of like to go to songs that have lyrics, and then if I need the instrumental version, I'll go to that. And I say that because tracks that have lyrics often, they're by artists or performers who, they're not just writing for libraries, they're also writing for just like passion projects, whatever they have going on in their life. So I find that tracks with lyrics have sometimes more unique and interesting arrangements and instrumentations, though not always the case, but let's just start there. So let's go with has lyrics. And then to cover the more authentic feel, let's dive into some indie music. So I'm gonna go to genre in the left panel, and then I'll type in indie, and I will choose indie pop. Okay, let's see what these sound like. Yeah, so I feel like these vocals kind of give these songs more of a authentic vibe. And then, like I said, if you need the instrumental version, you're going to find it under this versions button here. You'll also find cut downs and other alternate versions when you click on that. I should say, if you run across a track that does not have an instrumental version and you need it, don't hesitate to reach out to us. We might be able to dig it out with our library who maybe has it on hand and just hasn't uploaded it yet. Okay, so next, or actually, okay, so I just want to go back to this question because this is really just one aspect of it. I also, there's obviously lots of ways to interpret this question, looking for unique and interesting music. Another way that I might suggest doing that, we talked about our archival collection, so I'm just going to highlight that again. This is a place that you can find really interesting music that you aren't going to find in other places. So in the left panel, if I click archival, and then I always like to throw in a genre. If you know what kind of genre you're looking for, that's really going to help your search results. So let's say I'm looking for classic soul. Yeah, so some really nice archival recordings there spanning a couple decades, which is cool and authentic and unique. And then one other method that you might want to try to find something just interesting and different would be to blend two genres together. That usually results in something more unique. And so let's try that. I'm going to go again to the left panel and then genre and X that out. Let's say I want to look for something that is electronic and maybe classical. And since we have a lot of people in advertising and corporate, let's dive into corporate. And then I'm going to just kind of show you how I like to add additional keywords to really narrow down what you're looking for. And if you're not exactly sure how to describe the music that you're looking for, this left panel is a great place to get your inspiration. If you go to mood, there's all of these moods and character as well. These are good places to kind of like hone in on what you're looking for. Let's say I'm working on a corporate project that needs something dynamic and uplifting, as they often do. Okay, let's see. That's interesting with the strings and the electronic stuff, but it's not quite what I'm looking for. I'll keep going. That definitely piqued my interest. Okay, I feel like we're getting somewhere here in something more unique. These really pretty strings mixed with the synth sounds is definitely unique. And so I noticed that these three tracks that I really like are from the same album, right? They have the same album artwork, and we see the album ID right here, SCOP 79. And so I'm like, okay, well, what else is like this? There's a couple ways to dive into that. The first is just to go to the album by clicking on the album artwork to see what else is on the album that's similar that you like. Another way is to look at the composer. So if I go to info and then I scroll down, you'll see the composer here, and you could click on that and search through this person's catalog to see what else they've composed. And then thirdly, I also want to highlight we have this button over here called Sounds Like. There's also tagged like. Sounds Like is definitely a fast way to get something that sounds similar to this track. So I'll just go ahead and click the Sounds Like button and see what else we can find. So it's going to come up with all of its alternate versions, which makes sense. Let's see. Yeah, so definitely similar. Obviously, this is also from the same album. So if you had gone that route, you would have found it that way as well. But the Sounds Like button is a really great way to narrow down your search when you found something that you like and you want similar tracks. I recommend trying that out. Okay, since we're on the topic of corporate stuff, we also have a question here that's just general, advice in how to find the proper music for my corporate videos. We talked a little bit about more unique and like slightly edgy stuff for corporate, stuff that is combining, two genres or is a little bit more contemporary. So I just want to quickly touch on, let's say you're actually looking for the opposite. You're looking for something more traditional corporate and you just need it to be a bed that sits underneath voiceover or whatever type of videos you're working on. So let's run through an example of that really quick. I would definitely recommend using the corporate tag under genre. And then since oftentimes corporate videos have a lot of voiceover, I like to point out that you can search for just underscores, which are going to be tracks without the main melody. And that can help stay out of the way of voiceovers. So the easiest way to do that is scroll all the way down in your left panel if you go to track type and then underscore. That's definitely a good place to start there. And then oftentimes you kind of just need something neutral, but still a little bit happy. Don't want to get anything too dark. Let's see how these sound. Okay, so you'll see kind of the method that I use to search is I just hit play and kind of scan through the track to see how I like it. I'm thinking that acoustic guitar is maybe not the way to go. This News Talk one felt a little bit too punchy and in your face. And then this piano one was pretty busy. So, I'm just going through the auditioning process to come across this track, which I think actually might work really well for my project. And then, like I said before, I would use the Sounds Like button to find additional tracks similar to that one. Okay. Yeah, so sometimes you're working on a project that really doesn't need anything unique or I shouldn't say anything that's too like busy or will be the forefront of your video. Sometimes you need just the underscore bed, and this stuff definitely gets the job done there. Okay, next question. How can I find music that appeals to the younger generations, like high school students? So I would say starting with, so this kind of ties into our sounds like button. We call this also sonic similarity. And the first thing that I would recommend if you're looking for music similar to what any particular audience is listening to, but we're talking about high school students and younger generations here, I would find music that is resonating with them, like popular commercial music. And then I would use a sonic similarity search to see what in the APM catalog is similar to that. So let me pull an example of how you would do that. I'm gonna copy and paste a Spotify link and I will bring that over here so you can see. Okay. Copy link, and then I'm gonna go back to my tab and I'm just gonna paste it here and hit enter. And so this is gonna pull up other tracks that sound similar to our reference. And let's see how they sound.
My mark on top, best no, I'm the boss. Bougie, I'm bad, you know, like I'm on a catwalk. All of them gal can't even catch on. When you see me, I think so don't mess with my plan. You're gonna be my man.
Yeah, so that's one way to do it, right? You're putting in you can also use a YouTube link, Vimeo. You can also upload an MP3 or WAV into the search bar. And those are all ways to run a sonic similarity search from there. The other thing that I'd recommend is going to our curated playlists that are all available for you to look at. So if I go to this tab right here, Discover, and then Playlists, particularly for this question, I would recommend going to trending playlists. And then this category, trending on TikTok, we have a bunch of playlists that we update regularly based on whatever is currently popular on social media. And like, for example, I might click into this hyperpop playlist. And then let's see some of these. Yeah, so we, as music directors, we spend a lot of time putting together these playlists, and we'd love for you to also find them useful. So definitely check out the Discover playlist tab. That's going to get you some interesting stuff based on whatever you're looking for. Okay, moving on to the next question. Is the sound design kit searchable? I'm really, really very excited that someone asked this question because it's a feature that I personally have put a lot of time into, as well as some of my other team members. We just launched maybe in the last month or two our sound design tags on the website. So some of you might be familiar with our landing page, which I believe, yeah, you can access it from this toolbox and then go to sound design. It's going to take you to a separate page where we used to house all of our sound design. Now we have it integrated in the website, and that's going to be in the left panel right here, sound design. And we have it painstakingly categorized by type. And we've put a lot of love into categorizing all of our sound design. We have over 15,000 cues, sound design cues. So this is something that we really want to have you guys find what you need as quickly as possible. So I think these categories you're going to find are useful. But the other cool thing about this is that now that it is part of our taxonomy, you can also add additional keywords to the categories that you're looking for. For example, let's say that I'm looking for a hit, and I also just know that it needs to be deep and let's say boomy and have like a good base to it. Yeah, so I mean, a lot of this sounds similar, right? But this is the first time we've ever been able to search through our sound design catalog using additional keywords. So it's really exciting for us, and I hope you all find it useful. If you have any questions on how to maximize like the keywords and things like that, please don't hesitate to reach out. I also want to point out that this is a good place to use our key sort by key function. So like the key of a particular track. So for example, oftentimes we get requests on drones by key. So let me just demonstrate how you might do that. You would go to sound design and then drones. And then you can go to key and pick whatever key you need. And now you're looking at all of our drones in A minor. So this is a quick way to narrow things down by key, and that's can be a really important aspect to searching through sound design. So I hope you all find that helpful. Okay. Next question. Are there any plans to improve discovery of new tracks? Definitely, we're always looking to improve the discoverability of our tracks. So if you have any particular suggestions for us, we're happy to hear them. I'll point out a couple of ways that I like to find new tracks. The first is going to be if you just like to browse, you have an afternoon to browse around and listen to new music. In the upper right-hand corner, discover, if you go to new releases, you'll find all of our new releases by month here. And you can just kind of click around and listen to. Okay, and then if you're searching through the search interface, there's this quick filter called new releases here. And if you click on that, it's going to pop in all of our releases from the last 3 months. That's also a good way to surface the newest tracks. And then I also want to take a moment to point out how to create saved searches that can then essentially auto-update to add the newest music at the top of something that you actually find to be, a relevant and useful search for you. So let me show you what I mean. Let's say there were a decent number of sports people here. So let's talk about that a little bit. Let's say I need sports related music, and typically it's going to be driving and energetic, and hip hop is definitely king for most of the sports requests we receive, though not all. But okay, so let's say that this search is really working for me, and I want to make sure that when I come to the site, I can quickly just go to the search, see what is newest that has been released recently based on these parameters. What I would do is, so I have all my search terms in here, I'm going to click the heart button in my search bar, and I'm going to call this hip hop for sports. Save. And then let's say I clear it out, I go home and I come back and I'm like, what was that search? I really want to access it and make sure I have the newest stuff at the top. I'm going to go to my APM in the right-hand corner, click on favorites, and then I'm going to go to searches, and you'll see it right here, hip hop for sports. Click on that, and it drops all of those terms that we just saved into my search bar for me. And then I'm going to sort by release date descending, meaning the newest stuff is going to be at the top of your playlist. And I'll hit apply. And so now I have the newest stuff at the top. Let's take a listen to this one. yeah, I definitely feel like that fits these descriptors. And now if you come back in March and put your save search in, now you're going to have all of the March stuff saved at the top of your search. So if you prefer to always have the newest stuff at the top of your search instead of searching by what has the most matching metadata based on your keywords that you're putting in here, you can actually save your preferences to always sort by release date descending. And to do that, you would go to My APM and then My Account. And then there's this tab for settings. And in your settings here, these are going to be all of your default settings. So when you close out for the day and you come back, this is what's going to load on your APM search preferences. So what I was talking about right here, sort preferences for search, you can put release date descending, or you can search by relevance or whatever your parameters best fit your needs. That's where you would save that. You can also change what is displayed in your search results page. So if you find that you always need to see the key of the song, you can add key to your view. And I'll also show you what that looks like here. I just clicked customize right here, and then I click key. And now we have the key for these tracks right there. So if you make changes to the customize menu here, that's just going to be for your current session. When you leave, you close the window, you come back, what's going to load are your default settings that you have saved under My Account. If you have any questions on that, let us know. Okay, next question. Can I find soundalikes in the same key? We were just talking a little bit about key, but let me show you how I might go about finding tracks that sound similar to another, but in the same key. Obviously, the first thing that you would need to know is the key of the song that you're referencing, whatever you're trying to get soundalikes for. If it's a popular song, you can probably find the key just by a quick search, internet search. You can probably do it that way if it, yeah, like I said, if it's a popular song. If it's not, and you need help with that, feel free to like reach out to us and we can see what we can do there. But let me show you an example of how that would work with an APM track. So this is something that a lot of our trailer clients ask about, searching for songs within the same key. So I'm going to go to our trailer catalog by clicking the trailer quick filter in the left panel. And then let's say I'm looking for something heroic and majestic. Okay. I still have my sort on release date over here, by the way. You can always switch it back to whatever your preference is, but I'll just go ahead and play this one. Okay, so the question was find soundalikes in the same key. So you're first wondering what is the key? Since I added the key to our view, you can see it right here, D major. If it wasn't there, you can also find it in the info panel. If you scroll down, key D major. So what I would do with an APM track, I would just go ahead and go sounds like. And then, so these results aren't necessarily all going to be in the same key, right? This is just stuff that sounds like this. But now I want to make sure that all of my results are in D major. I'll just go ahead and go to key. And then D major. And see what these sound like. Yeah, and then you'll see in the view, you'll see all of these have D major there. So that's your confirmation that these are all in the same key as your reference. Okay, next question. I'm not sure how to describe the music I'm looking for. Any tips? Lots of tips for you. We talked a little bit about the left panel and sonic similarities, so that's definitely the first place that I would start is with sonic similarity. If you already have a reference of what you're looking for, go ahead and drop that reference track into the search bar and see what comes up there. If you don't have a reference and you're struggling to describe the music that you're looking for, definitely recommend starting with the left panel, especially if you are working on a particular type of project. You can use music for and select it that way. If you want to browse a couple genres, you can do genre and select some from here. And then as you narrow things down, you can use the sounds like button and things like that. The other techniques that we talked about, going to the album or going to the composer to find other similar tracks. So I really like to look at this left panel as kind of like if you're a painter and you have your palette of all of your colors, this is where you can kind of go and select what you're looking for, even if you don't have the vocabulary off the top of your head. All right. Can I look through pre-curated playlists to save time on searching? We did already talk about the Discover playlist section. There's other stuff in here that's not just for trending music. You can find stuff for sports or different events. And then I also want to point out we have the Fresh 5 and Music Director picks updated every month with our new releases. These Fresh 5 playlists are our top 5 favorite tracks of each genre that you see listed here, updated monthly. So this is a cool place to discover new music. It'll always be new to the month, and you can dive into different albums from there as well. Okay, next question. What's the best way to create and share playlists with my team? Okay, we actually haven't talked about playlist creation at all, and so let's definitely do that. The way to get to your playlist panel is by clicking on My APM and then Playlists, and your playlist will load here. So I already have like a couple folders set up, and you can create new folders. You can create folders, subfolders under your main folders, etc. So let's walk through an example. Let's say I'm working on, let's go back to that sports hip hop example. That might be what I title my playlist. I hit create. And then I particularly like I find that actually a great place for sports folks to find hard-hitting, impactful music is actually in our trailer catalog. And so I might go to trailers, and then I'm going to switch my sort back to relevance so that I'm getting the best matches based on the keywords that I'm putting in here. Let's go with hip hop. And let's go with has lyrics. Okay, so already, even though I didn't actually put in the term sports, you can see based on the track titles that these probably all apply to sports related content. I'm just going to play one of them here. Make the rules not follow. Boys move like Harlow. I want a ball, and I need you to be number one. Ain't no choice. Never. We the ones, we the boys. Pulling up, making noise. Number one, ain't no choice. Go big or go home. Okay, let's say this track is really working for me and I want to add it to my playlist. There's a couple ways to do that. You can go ahead and click and drag and drop it into that sports hip hop folder I just created. Or you can use the plus button, add to playlist, and then select the playlist from there. It's really choose your own adventure on that one and whatever your preference is. I like to click and drag. A lot of my colleagues prefer to use the plus button. It's kind of up to you. One thing that I should point out, if you want to add more than one track, that's easy to do. You can use these check boxes to select more than one track. Alternatively, if you want to, select a whole bunch of them, you can use shift click. So if I hold down shift and I just click anywhere on the track, it highlights all of them. And then you can also use control or command click to highlight additional individual ones without having to go over to the checkbox, which for me is just a cheat code to make things a lot faster. So I'm holding down control right now and clicking individually on these tracks, and it's checking them off for me. And then I would just go ahead and click and drag to my sports hip hop playlist. So if you then wanted to share your playlist, let's go to the playlist, share it with your colleagues or whoever's working, collaborating with you on this project. You can use the send button, which will pull up this menu here. You can email it directly to them if you'd like. We also, I want to point out, we have a new feature here where you can upload to your Disco inbox. Especially, this can be useful if you're sharing your Disco inbox with your colleagues, and they'll also get updated based on you uploading to your inbox. This would be a good place to do that. If you hit send, it's going to ask you to log into your Disco inbox, and then it'll upload the tracks directly to your inbox from there. Lastly, you can click copy link. And when you click it, it'll generate a link and you'll get the confirmation link has been copied to clipboard. Just a pro tip, don't navigate away from this menu until you get this confirmation. It's generating a nice clean short link for you, and sometimes it just takes a second depending on the length of the playlist. So definitely keep your window open, and then now that link has been copied to my clipboard and I can paste it and share it with whomever I'd like. This is also the place that you would come to download these tracks, and you can select whatever your preferences are, MP3, WAV, AVEs, etc., and then share with your colleagues from there. Okay, we have just 1 minute left, so let me just grab one last question. Can you explain the libraries and how we use them efficiently? So this is definitely not a 1 minute question, but I do have just a couple tips to maybe get you started. So the first place I will point you to is Discover and then Libraries. And we have all of our libraries listed here, and if you click into them, they'll give you a little spiel about what they do right here, and then you can also audition some of the tracks from there. That's pretty overwhelming though if you're not exactly sure what all these libraries are. I mean, we have this giant list here, and I know that if you don't know what you're looking for, this is going to be pretty hard to navigate. So let me show you a trick on how to find libraries that might be more relevant to you. And I'll do this really quickly. So let's go back to my saved search that I just made. I went to favorites and then searches, and then let's go hip hop for sports. Okay, so everything is loaded in for me now. Okay, now let's go to that libraries tab in the left panel. And the cool thing is that you can switch to sort this by count. And now you see the libraries that have the most matching tracks to your terms. So you can kind of assume that Perfect Time Music has a lot of music that could be relevant to this. Rhymes, SATB, MIMA, etc. And if you want to get further into what specific sub-libraries they are that have those, you can click the little arrow right there and then see how it breaks down from there. So this is a good way to get familiar with our libraries. I would run a search that applies to your projects and then go to the libraries tab and sort by count and say, okay, which libraries have the most amount of music that's most relevant to my search? And then from there, you can go to the libraries tab and just discover the libraries that are most useful to you and check out other music that's not necessarily an exact match for your terms, but it might help you discover things that you weren't expecting. So that is our time for today. I really appreciate all of the insightful questions that you all asked. If we missed your question, we're going to be in touch with you soon. I know it's a lot to jam pack in 45 minutes. So I really appreciate all of the time that you spent with us. If you have any further questions, please get in touch. Don't hesitate to reach out at support@apmusic.com. We also have a chat on our website in the bottom right-hand corner. If you prefer to reach out that way, please chat with us or give us a call. We'd be happy to help you out. And thank you so much for joining.